What's going on, everybody? Isaac here, coming with another overview for you. This is the Mar SERE 2000. Very, very cool folding knife, which is a modernized iteration of the original SERE folding knife designed by Mar and Colonel Nick Rowe in the early 1980s. So, Mar, son of Chinese immigrants, was a special forces soldier in the 1950s, maybe early 60s as well, and went to Vietnam as part of a special covert operations group made up of all Asian American soldiers. Now, after his stint in the military and special forces, he worked as a knife designer for Gerber knives and did that, I believe, up through 1979. He is very famous for designing the Gerber Mark II, the dagger. Very famous knife. If you haven't seen one of those before, look it up. It's pretty cool. It was popular as a purchased knife by soldiers in Vietnam. Now, Colonel Nick Rowe, who Mar worked with to design the SERE folder, he was in the military in Vietnam and was a prisoner of war for several years and eventually escaped from captivity. Nick Rowe founded the Army's SERE School, SERE, Survival, Evasion, Resistance, and Escape. There's a special school. It's very rigorous training that military combatants attend and have to pass, especially special ops guys. Now, Colonel Nick Rowe, after all that, he unfortunately was assassinated by communists in the Philippines in 1989 during some struggles that they were having over there. Now, the original SERE folder didn't look like this. It was a bit larger, clunkier, had some nice, it's a real nice folder, don't get me wrong. It's just it's a lockback. It's a product of its time. Blade shape similar to this. Handle shape is actually very similar as well, just different materials. This is the one for the 21st century. Now we've got green G10 on both sides, a loop over pocket clip, deep carry, very deep carry, and nice thick, real thick steel liners. This isn't a lightweight knife. And this is made in Seki, Japan. Thumb stud opening, both sides. Look at this blade. Real thick back here, then tapers down, kind of a bayonet style blade, if you will. There is the Mar logo. That would focus better. Oh, well, you'll have to believe me. It's there, and you can read it when you have the knife in person. It's 3.6 inches, which is a real fine length for a folding knife. As you can tell, this is meant to pierce. This isn't something you want to slice your potatoes with in the kitchen. This is meant to do certain tasks in the realm of survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. Very cool knife. They have stopped making these because the Mar company was bought out by some other company in 2019, and then 2020 they released the SERE 2020, which looks basically the same, except it is now a flipper knife made in China out of cheaper materials than this. You got like GRN handle scales and either an 8CR13 MOV blade or D2, depending which model you get. But now I've personally not tried one, so I'm not going to knock it. But based on that alone, it's a fact. It's made of cheaper materials in a company made in a country known for making knives out of cheaper materials. So take that as you will, but you can still find these online, the SERE 2000, If you want the original SERE knife, you're going to have to go to eBay or some other type of site that sells rare and vintage knives, maybe Arizona custom knives, and you're going to spend a pretty penny on those, minimally probably $400. Those original SERE knives came in a few different sizes. The large one, which I believe was the original, designed by Mar and Nick Rowe. It's got a 4-inch blade on it, so it's bigger than this. If you can find one of those, good on you. They are very expensive. They are very cool looking, beautiful knives. They were all made in Seki, Japan. Typically, I think of AUS6 steel back then in the 80s. But, you know, steel is always subjective. There's always a new super steel each and every day. So, Mar SERE 2000, fantastic blade. Go look it up. I also did a full review on this knife. I'm going to link it in the description. You can go watch that and see it in action. Take care, everybody. Have a fantastic day.